I don't think it's any different from like Aussie humour or Kiwi humour in a way that like our natural default setting is to be the underdog. Like sort of, there's definitely like sort of, I think that's is that we genuinely, and I think why our films kind of like seem to do well in Australia is I think that we have a connection in terms of we both kind of like immediately, our default setting is to be the underdogs and to sort of like just be trying to undercut things and be irreverent. So I think that's why like sort of a lot of British comedy and Australian comedy kind of like sort of, there's a sort of cultural exchange, is we tend to find the same things funny, you know?
Define English humour.
I think it comes from being an island. I think a constantly invaded island comes from being a very confident and productive island. We make a big noise for a place that's so small culturally.
I thought we were also, I mean, we've been at war forever, you know, and I think there's some kind of dark gallows humour that comes from kind of a constant fear of that whistle blowing and you having to go over the top, you know. I think you have to kind of, I think that drips into us eventually, you know.
We're pretty repressed in some respects, you know, in terms of our emotional attitudes towards, you know.
And then there's the reaction
sex.
against that oppression or that repression that we saw in the Carry On films, for instance, and that we see like in Fawlty Towers, and you know we see in a lot of the absurdist humour that there's a reaction against authority.
Yeah, and I also think the alcoholic thing that we play out in The World's End is, you know, drink is a huge part of our culture because it loosens us up. And I think, you know, a nation which is as repressed as ours relies on alcohol to unlock our sort of, you know, our true selves a little bit, which is kind of upsetting, really, considering. But it's true, you know. And in our films also, it's always been about a reaction against some kind of authority, or be it a collective force like the zombies or the NWA, or in this, you know, the kind of the threat in this movie, which is this bizarre intergalactic homogenization.
I think we're quite good at taking the, you know, taking the piss out of one another. Yet if someone else tries to take the piss out of us, then we can turn quite volatile. You know what I mean? We don't like it when it's turned on us, even though we pretend we do.
Ever had one of those nights that starts out like any other, but ends up being the best night of your life? I did. Our goal that night was simple. 12 pubs, 12 pints, from the first post to the world's end. But that night, we never made it.
I saw the boys the other day. We're going to go back to Newton Haven. Why? 5 guys, 12 pubs, 50 pints. 60 pints.
Oh, steady on, you alky.
This is our chance to finally finish what we started.
We are going to do the Golden Mile, and this time
We are going to see it through to the bitter end. Or lager end.
Good evening, Raymondo. The prodigal son's return.
Huh?
What do you recommend?
Beer.
One tap water, please.
What? What the hell is this? Why are we even here?
We are here to get annihilated.
You come back and everything's sort of weird.
I suggest you get on your way. It's not us that's changed. It's the town.
We are going to get to the world's end if it kills us. Welcome home, boys.
Oh, no.
The world's end.
What do we do?
Let's finish our drinks.